Hey, are you struggling to support your parents? You're not sure how to make a plan, what to do. You know you've got to work. You know you've got other responsibilities. It's like you've got so many responsibilities and then you realize, "Oh my goodness, my parents also need support. How do I make sure I get the right support for them while I keep an eye on things and, make life go the way it's supposed to go?" What I found in my experience, I worked as a healthcare professional for many years as a registered nurse. And then I also worked in the community supporting families with elderly parents. And so one of the things I found is having a plan ahead of time. And it will soon be Christmas. You'll be shocked how quickly Christmas comes. But what happens is because people don't plan ahead of time, they have to find whoever at the last minute. And this can be quite problematic because it's difficult to manage expectations when you make a plan in a hurry. I hope that is making sense, yes? So, what I found is if you want to find somebody who's kind, somebody who's attentive, somebody who's professional, somebody who can treat your parents' home with respect and you feel safe and you have peace of mind, get in touch with me because having worked in the field, I realize that it doesn't always work for everybody or the plans that can be put in place. Every person is an individual. And what I found for parents is if they feel like the plan is pressed on them, pushed onto them, it's like, okay, then the frustration starts to come out with the caregiver that's living with them. Because one of the really brilliant plans, I may be biased, but live in care is such a brilliant plan to support your parents because they can continue to live in their own home. They can continue to do life like they've always done. Go to the shops, go for weekends away, go out for the day, go for a Spanish class or a music class, whatever your parents love and whatever they're into. And it may not even mean that they necessarily need somebody who is there full time, but it is also good to plan ahead of time. Somebody can come in and just, get some things done for them for the morning, a couple of hours, and then come back in the evening, make sure everything is okay. But when that person is there like round the clock, that is where it can get a bit problematic. What I found is without a good plan in place, without a strategy in place that works for the person that comes and for your parents as a caregiver, it can really cause unnecessary stress and drama. And now, in my nature, I'm quite level headed, cool, calm, collected. And I've worked in different scenarios from the hospital and in the community. What I found is, like I've said at the beginning, is managing expectations. Whew. Because sometimes there's confusion because there are two types of care that you can plan for your parents. You can use an introduction agency or you can use a fully managed agency. So it's really, really different. When you use an introduction agency, that is where the person that comes and stays with your parents is somebody who is usually self employed. They manage their own expenses, they manage their own time, they manage their own team, and all that. And usually I found these, I could be biased, but this is my experience about 8 years. The self employed caregiver that is managing her own team and managing her own hours and everything is usually highly motivated. What do I mean by that? Is they're not outsourcing responsibility to somebody else. And I'm not saying those that work with an agency do that. That it's just a different mindset. When somebody comes as a self-employed caregiver, they're coming like a business person. They're coming as a manager of their services. Yes, they're providing their services and they're taking 100% responsibility for that to make sure that they're looking after your parents really well. They're attentive, they're kind, and they are managing risk ahead of time. They think like a manager, they think like a leader. That is not easy to find. It's really different from somebody who's an employee, completely different. And like I said, they are employees who think like managers. They come, they've got a leadership mindset. They are preempting problems, they're managing risk ahead of time. They don't always need supervision. But this is my offer to you. I'm currently helping families in the United Kingdom to plan ahead of time before Christmas comes. Don't leave it until the last minute. Oh, the sun is so nice over here. I need to just get my glasses on. Excuse me. Okay, so What you want is to plan ahead of time, like 3 months ahead of time, 6 months ahead of time. Don't wait until things are really like you have to find somebody quickly. So, for example, your parents, I'm speaking actually to the adult children, or you could be the parent who needs this. You're watching this and you're like, I need somebody to support me, or you know, a friend. Let me give different scenarios. One of the scenarios where I find people need support and help. Let me just move the sun here a little bit. It's really nice. Let's see. Okay, let me go back and manage this here. For example, you may not need somebody around to help you because you can manage most things. But you can see that maybe in 6 months or maybe in a year, I may need somebody. One of the ways to start getting used to this type of service is start having somebody come and help you do a few things around the house and spend some quality time with you, like just 3 hours. You know, you have a cup of tea together, or you go to the shops, you go, it's like developing friendships, developing a support system. This is what I mean. Because I don't think this issue is approached this way. It is good to start planning your support system way ahead of time. And those of you who are watching and you've got parents or somebody who needs some support that you know, this is a really good approach because when you plan and think of it as a support system that you are planning ahead of time, not until the last minute, it's going to serve you really well because you will get to meet people from different backgrounds. You'll get to meet people with different cultural background, different academic backgrounds, different work environments, but they have a big heart and they want to do different things. Some of these professionals will come as somebody who is like taking a gap year to travel. So what they do is they can come from different parts of the world and come to your country and provide a live-in care service. So they will stay with you. They actually benefit. So it's good for them because they will stay with somebody, support you. But those times where they have a break, they can go and explore. Say, for example, which I highly recommend, give this person more time so that they can go and explore the city. Maybe you live in London or close to London, and this person can get on the train and go and explore London. You see, they are also accomplishing their goals, but they're also supporting you. So these kind of people are usually happy people. They're really objective. They don't come and take over your house. They're very respectful. They understand this is somebody else's home and they're also professional. And like I said, when they are working as a professional, self-employed caregiver, it is important to them that they build a good reputation. They must also be police checked, of course. And they must also be organized, doing their taxes. They're not outsourcing to somebody else. So you really want somebody like this because this is a responsible person. This is a person who is down to earth, a person who is sensible, somebody who is organized. You really want somebody like this. And what happens is, if you are concerned, will mom and dad be okay? One of the things you can be most assured about this is the kind of person who will be proactive, making sure before it's bedtime, before it's nighttime, they can preempt any issues, make sure if you need to contact the GP, if you need to contact the district nurse. Here in the UK, I'm talking about. We will apply according to the area where you live. This person will make sure before it's bedtime, there's no issue, there's no concern, there's extra supply. It's really a manager. Yes, you want somebody who thinks like a manager and is rightly well compensated for that. When you settle for just whatever, anybody, almost like nothing, you'll get the same service because this person will be different. They will just be like, oh, I'm here just to make a little bit of money. But when you approach this from a point of view like, oh, this is somebody who's going to really enhance the quality of life that I'm experiencing now, maybe even make it better because you can experience somebody from another culture, share different stories, you go out and different experiences, your whole world opens up. That's for you and for your parents. So one of the things sometimes that our children forget is this person coming to support your parents, they're really coming in a professional role. So don't feel like it is somebody that needs to be micromanaged. That's where you find those who enjoy their work and they're really good at what they do, they won't stay. They don't like squabbling, they don't like drama, they don't like confrontation, they don't like to be micromanaged. They're adults. So the best people, they actually won't stay. But if you want people who just come and go, all the drama and all the toxicity that I found and I saw, then it means you have to keep finding somebody else. You have to keep finding somebody else every 3 months or every month, even sometimes. That is where, oh my goodness, you're on the phone to the agency. Oh, we had this issue, we had this, because expectations are not managed ahead of time. Yes? So listen, if this resonates with you and you're like, I don't like the drama, I want peace of mind, get in touch with me. I have a coaching package for you, and this coaching package includes finding the most suitable professional caregiver for you. And all the rates are staggered, just like an introduction agency would do. The rates are staggered. You don't have to do everything in a lump sum because I understand, it's difficult for families. These are challenging times. So what we do is we look at what you need, because I will come with an objective point of view, and it's up to you to accept the service or not. But my approach is really objective. Whether you choose to work with our service or not, it's no issue. All I expect is that we agree on the rates for the consultation, and then you decide what you want to do with that. So here is like one example. Let me give you a really helpful example. Maybe mom or dad are going to have surgery, or you are going to have surgery, and you need somebody to support you. You don't want to be in hospital like unnecessarily. Let's save the NHS, let's help the NHS, right? So one of the things is to plan ahead of time who you will need and what type of support you will need. Because after surgery, after anesthetic, and the healing process and the recovery process, depending on the surgery you've had, like I said, I worked in the NHS, I worked for Bupa for many years. You may need recovery time. You may need somebody to make sure the house is in order. You may need somebody to manage your day to day, keep the house in order, getting meals sorted. It's like having your own little, health support at home, your little health and wellness package. And you can make it as amazing as you want. Somebody who's got the experience. So, in the team that I would send to you, it would be different types of people with different types of experience, because I covered healthcare for so many years. I did intensive care nursing where people are on life support. So, it's my jam. It's the kind of thing I understand. We would work out what type of surgery are you going to have, and we look at the instructions from your surgeon, and then we talk through what will be expected, the medication, because when you've gone through a life changing experience, major surgery, whatever that is, it can be quite difficult to retain all the information and all the ideas, and it can be difficult to get family members to support because people are busy. But if you do have somebody, that is really good. That is brilliant. That's the best. But if you don't have somebody, that is where I mean, get in touch with me. And we will look at a plan that works for you. Look at what the instructions are from your surgeon. And then we map out your care plan at home. This is something I really enjoy because I love the recovery stage. I'm more of an empowerment kind of person in my nature, the way I work, like get you back on your feet. You don't need to be, struggling longer than necessary. So if it means getting a physiotherapist, we organize getting a physiotherapist. If it means getting a private physiotherapist, because the wait time, which I have recognized here in the UK, sometimes the NHS physio, it can take longer than you need. If you have the means to get a private physio, by all means, just do it. It is what it is. Sometimes it's staffing issues, so I can understand that. So if you can get somebody private to help you recover quickly, that is brilliant. What happens is, with the professional caregiver that we assign to you or that we work out, this person can come in the morning, check you've had your medication, support you to make sure all your personal care is done and you're ready for the day, what you need to be done, or the exercises that need to be done. So that would be the best part of the morning. Medication, exercises, meals, planning out the day, planning your social life, because that's another thing. You can have a busy social life that people will just be coming and going, and you may struggle to say, no, I really need to rest. You may be one of those nice people, and I can understand that you feel bad. People are coming to see you. You don't want people to feel bad. But it's good to have somebody who's objective and say, you know what, it's okay. Let's just plan your rest, and You let people know, oh, these are the best times for me. And these are all things you can do by yourself if you want, actually. If you like, you know what, Meg, I like what you're saying. I just need somebody who helps me plan the whole thing out and somebody I can call. That's another package we can do when you have any challenge or any concern, or you're not getting any support from the hospital because it's busy or you can't get anybody to respond, you're concerned about that. That's part of the service that we do, because it is what it is. Sometimes the department is really busy and you haven't got somebody to help you. So you need somebody who's ready on the phone and let you know what needs to be done. And of course, for safety reasons, if it's something that we cannot do as a service, by all means, we will let you know and just give you some advice. And that is where you can choose if you want a membership. Say, like, maybe your recovery will take 6 weeks, or it will take 3 months, or it will take 6 months. However long it will take, you can choose like a membership package where you have access to somebody to email or a phone call. Yes? And this is one of the ways I believe we can support the NHS, because the NHS is inundated. And of course, even for them, they want to make sure people going home have the right support. So that is why we would have to go with the guidelines you've already been given. If there's anything that can be done differently, we can check with with your GP and make a telephone consultation. Yes. It's not always favorable, but it is something that we can talk through. My service is like being an advocate for you, where we can plan ahead of time. Okay, let's make a phone appointment. We can't manage to get to the hospital and it's too busy, or the GP, then we make a telephone appointment. There's something you're concerned about. Because you see, after surgery, you have to make sure there's no excess bleeding. We have to make sure you reduce the risk of infection. There's so many different things. We have to make sure your nutrition is optimized, because that is how you recover quickly. You have to take extra supplements so you recover quickly. There's certain exercises you need to be doing, so you need somebody to help you, to support you, to stay accountable to that. And sometimes, because you're feeling a little bit low and down, why did I go through this? Don't feel bad on yourself. Don't blame yourself. Because sometimes I see, in my past years of working in the NHS, people feel really bad that they're dealing with this condition, and, you need the psychological support and the emotional support. And that's what it may be. Somebody who takes your mind off things, or, you just discuss different things, or somebody who reassures you to talk through all that. And this is not from a therapist's point of view. If a therapist is required, we can make that assessment, and that is the recommendation. So you can see it's full on. It's a huge package. It's a huge program. But that is not to make you feel, oh my goodness, this is going to be too much. No, 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 no. This is just, when somebody's explaining the outline, it can feel like, oh my goodness, this is too much. I don't want to deal with this. Just take me back to hospital. No. Listen, I keep it simple. I keep it simple. At the end of the day, here is my goal, and which I believe you would have as well. You want to recover well and as quickly as possible. So this could be you, or it could be your parents. You want them to recover really quickly, really fast. And one of the ways that we talk through that I found is a diet that is high in protein, lots of supplements, lots of vitamin C, because you want the wound to heal quickly and fast. You also want to have the emotional support. You want to keep your mind, objective, that this is going to be fine. I'm just going through this. I'm going to be fine. So sometimes I found this. It's almost like on a daily basis, depending on, anxiety levels of a person. Some people may need support every single day. Just how can I make sure that you're okay? What will make you feel better about this? Yes. And from an objective point of view, you just want to be down on yourself the whole time. And then you want to not only recover quickly, you want to get back to your life the way it was, what you like doing, what you enjoy doing. Or what are you going to start doing now? Are you going to go for a walk in the park almost every single day? I remember one of my clients got to a point where they didn't want people to see them struggling, and they didn't want to go out. And it took a lot of emotional support to encourage them to start going out again. They really enjoyed going out, seeing the fresh air. But what I noticed is when a different type of caregiver went to the house, the lady didn't want to go out anymore, and they stopped in the end. It was too much trouble for them. And it's also a legal requirement. You don't You don't make people do what they don't want to do. All you can do is support and coach and give the options that are available. And that's the best that you can do. But this is my approach to make sure that every person that is in our support is getting the best care that is possible for them, and whatever that is. So, what I talked about was creating a support structure. Yes. So, remember, this is part of creating a support structure for you so that you recover well and you're getting the most out of every single day, right? That's the way it should be, really. So, I hope this makes sense for you and this is helpful to you. And if you want to ask me any more questions, get in touch with me. Um, I've got a few slots available. So I'm going on a first come first serve basis because Christmas is coming and I want by December we've got all of you that need the support. You know you need the support. This can be any part of the United Kingdom. Most of you, it will be by Zoom. We'll do the assessment by Zoom. And if we make the assessment as a team from my part, that we can actually come and drive there, get on the train or drive there and come and see you. Otherwise, what will happen, this is me, just full disclosure. If we cannot come, we will do a virtual assessment. Remember COVID times, a virtual assessment. I will go through checks in the house because if you need somebody to come in the house must be safe, not just for your family, but also for the person that is coming, the professional coming. And so there's different things to look at, the medication, what are the requirements, so that the person who comes to live with your parents is adequately trained and has the experience and has the confidence and has the leadership skills to come and support your family. This is something that I enjoy, and this is my way of giving back, having worked in the NHS for many years. I realize one of the ways we can reduce the beds that are just there isn't the capacity is make sure people go back home as quickly as possible. And it is a hospital requirement. If there isn't a proper package for somebody to go home, they will not accept. They will not accept because it's not just that somebody has been looked after. It's after you go home. Are we making sure that you will be okay? You will be well supported? Do you have a plan in place? And so instead of scrambling at the last minute, get in touch with me and we will look at your options. Even if you don't use my service, like I said, we'll just do a consultation. It's a paid consultation, of course. And that's it. That's it. And if you have any questions after that, we can make that plan because, you must just work with what's going to work for you. So appreciate you. Good to see you on this video. Get in touch with me. And I'll see you on the next video. If you have any questions, by the way, there's a link somewhere down below. There's a website that you can go and get more information. I put up the website recently because I realized word of mouth is good, but it's good for people to get more information online and get more details. So get in touch and see you soon.